Good evening. Welcome to the Primetime News on MITV. I am Jumoke Michaels. The headlines. Federal government restates commitment to stop pipeline vandals. NCDC monitors new COVID-19 subvariants to start testing in 4 states. From the foreign scene, Niger junta orders maximum military alert over ECOWAS attack fears. And in sports, FIFA suspends Spanish FA boss over kissing of female footballer on the lips. And now to the news. The federal government is committed to putting a stop to pipeline vandalism in oil-rich Niger Delta to boost the petroleum sector and contribute to national growth and development. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil, Henikin Lokobiri, said on Saturday that inspecting an illegal facility in Delta State, Lokobiri made it clear that pipeline vandalism has become a big problem and there was the urgent need to those involved to submit. Lokobiri, he said, as a responsible government, it will work with stakeholders to ensure that an end was brought to what he called embarrassment. Lokobiri was accompanied by his counterpart for gas, Ekperikpe Ekpo, the Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru, and the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. The Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, has assured Nigerians that the power sector will witness significant transformation within the coming 3 months, with an anticipated addition of 700 megawatts to the grid. The minister gave the assurance during his arrival in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, where he was received and welcomed by hundreds of his supporters before he paid a courtesy visit to the Olubadan of Ibadan, where he sought the support of the monarch as he undertakes his role as a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Adelabu said he would understudy the value chain of the sector to achieve sustainable development in power generation. While addressing newsmen, the minister revealed that the ongoing hydropower plant project in Zugeru in Niger State will produce a total of 700 megawatts, which is about the biggest in sub-Saharan Africa.
From our rural electrification projects, those underserved rural areas, what we do is to actually handle them in silos and introduce renewable energy, either solar or windmill. And I can tell you that within the next 6 months, there will be a major addition to the national grid in terms of hydro power plants that we're just about to conclude in Zungeru, that's in Niger State, 700 megawatts of power. And this is about the biggest in sub-Saharan Africa. The Kanji that we all grew up to know is just supplying about 460 megawatts. The Shiroro Dam is supplying about 420 megawatts. But this Zungeru power plant that is about to be completed, and I will do everything to ensure that within the next 1 to 3 months, it is commissioned. It's going to...
To health matters, the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, says it's monitoring the new subvariants of the Omicron variant of the SARS-CoV-2 virus named EG5 and BA2.86. In a statement on Saturday, the health agency said its COVID-19 technical working group has been monitoring emerging variants from local to global level. The statement partly reads that NCDC Influenza Sentinel surveillance sites continue to provide information on COVID-19 prevalence in patients with influenza-like illness and severe acute respiratory illness. The agency said preventive actions remained the same as before: good hand hygiene, testing, vaccination, and use of masks. The EG5 subvariant has been reported in 51 countries, including China, the United States of America, the Republic of Korea, Japan, Canada, Australia, Singapore, the United Kingdom, France, Portugal, and Spain. No fewer than 18 polytechnic lecturers drawn from across the country have successfully completed a training program on Research for Impact R4I initiative put in place by the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TET Fund. Speaking at the closing ceremony of the training program in Abuja, the Executive Secretary of TET Fund, Architect Sonny Echono, said the initiative, organized in collaboration with Innovate Hub, is aimed at promoting innovation and viable research in higher education institutions. Echono, who said Nigeria cannot afford to be left behind in technological development, posited that technological development holds the massive key to overcoming challenges bedeviling the country. He said, the world has witnessed tremendous transformation with technology at the center stage, transforming lives, creating jobs, and impacting nations, while appreciating Innovate Hub for its willingness to partner with TET Fund to propagate and advance an innovation ecosystem in Nigerian tertiary education sphere. Echono pledged the commitment of the agency to continue to invest in research as the foundation for Nigeria's emergence as a knowledge-based economy.
The people, it is our only hope. We cannot move with the crowd, and we cannot join the gangs of those who have lost hope and taken to crime. We must be part of the solution. As I said at previous events, let us use our God-given talents. Let us encourage those of us that are gifted. Let us provide the opportunity and the facilities for our people to compete. If China can do it, if South Korea can do it, if Vietnam can do it, and India can do it, I strongly believe Nigerians can.
The essence of this workshop has been to empower our researchers to translate their invaluable work, all those incredible fabrication that you do in your schools, into societal value. Through your dedication and hard work, you have been able to curate problems within the SDGs and transform them into 4 remarkable prototypes just in 10 days. This achievement reflects not only your ingenuity and passion, but your unwavering commitment to creating a positive impact in our society. I would like to take this moment to specially extend our sincere gratitude to TET Fund, led by Architect Sonny Echono, for his visionary support in driving the knowledge-driven economy in Nigeria.
Still on education, scholars of education in African countries have been urged to harness indigenous intellectual potentials for sustainable education growth and development in this 21st century. An education scholar from the University of the West Indies, Mona in Jamaica, Professor Lan Boxhill, made the call during an international conference of education held at the College of Education, Ipetu-Ijesha campus of the Osun State University. The theme of the conference focuses on 21st century education, security, democracy, and economic sustainability, issues and prospects. As a lead paper presenter at the conference, Professor Lan identified the need for intensified intellectual collaborations with endowed African scholars and other foreign counterparts practicing in different countries abroad. The Provost of College of Education, Osun State University, Professor Florence Yusuf, said the theme of the conference was chosen to deliberate on contemporary issues that will engender positive growth in education, economy, and sustainable development goals.
The message was essentially that universities such as Osun State have the opportunity to capitalize on indigenous knowledge, to integrate it more into the curriculum, to improve the lives of the people. so that when we think of education, we think not only of that which comes from outside, but also that which resides with the people. And by doing this, what it does is to help persons not only have knowledge about others, but about themselves. And self-knowledge and identity is the first stage in the development of a nation.
The idea of sustainable development or sustainability in the world today is that you have the university, you have the economy, you have the society. Those the three triangles upon which we stand, and some other that will build the sustainable development tenets.
When you look at it, if you see an engineer, the teacher taught the engineer in the primary school. So any innovation or creativeness that is coming into be, it has to start from education. And that is why we chose the theme of the conference, so that we see to look at the sustainable development goal that has to do with 21st century education, in which we need to embrace new things and think of how to solve the challenges on the world. And you will see that many people talk about it. How do we go about it? We have to collaborate with others. We have to move with digital world. We have to be there when it comes to ICT.
In view of the current tough economic situation in Nigeria, Nigerians, especially the youth, have been charged to equip themselves with financial literacy, which will assist in directing socio-economic activities they engage in. This came to the fore in Lagos at the Youth Leadership Seminar by Lions District 404A3 Nigeria, themed Navigating Economic Challenges, Unlocking Opportunities for Strong Financial Management. A financial technology expert who facilitated the seminar, Abimbola Shopeju, analyzed that lack of financial literacy contributed to poor financial decisions. She, however, charged Nigerians to embrace financial literacy, financial resilience, and take advantage of evolving technologies in order to maintain normalcy in their businesses. Meanwhile, the district governor of Lions 404A3 Nigeria, Adeniyi Balogun, said such empowerment summit tends to reduce dependency on jobs as it aids their individual businesses.
Increase your revenue streams, you can increase your income streams, you can increase the access to information that you have and how you use that information to improve yourself. So not from a position of looking at it as gloom and doom, right? First, from a position to improve yourself and how to improve, by extension, the economy in itself, right? So that resilience is how to look at methods and channels on how you can improve your ability to be able to withstand, whatever is also going up in the global space.
By empowering them through various training on trades and soft skills that they can use to reduce their dependency on white-collar jobs. Many of those that we train today, I'm sure, they will be less dependent on government, and they will focus more on how to be self-dependent through all the skills they've learned. So that way, we are able to assist the government and we are able to assist the society to reduce the menace associated with unemployment.
It has helped in reshaping and creating a platform for youth to learn, relearn, and unlearn their financial stability, strength, and knowledge. So this program has created a lot of opportunity for youth within Ikorodu and its axis in order to establish a way in which they can be financially buoyant and financially established.
The importance of this seminar today is to engage the youth, give them the necessary tools that they require to navigate the economic hardship that we are currently facing. And it's important for them to have the necessary knowledge about finances so that they can better appreciate how to plan their finances.
There is now an urgent need by female youth to imbibe a culture of self-development, skill, and spiritual inclination in order to be a better person in the society. The Amira of Nasfat Youth Wing, Hajia Kafayat Oyewo Oyelere, stated this in Lagos on Saturday at the 2023 Sisters Retreat of Nasfat. with the theme Beyond the Veil. She said the annual Sisters Retreat was born out of the urgent need to solve the problems of stereotype, discrimination, shallow knowledge of Islam, and breaking barriers while conforming with the teachings of Islam. The annual retreat is a conveyance of female Muslim youth who are professionals, thought leaders, entrepreneurs, undergraduates, and graduates with the opportunity to network, learn, and improve leadership and self-development skills, among other objectives.
Sisters Retreat was born out of the dear need and desire to solve problems of stereotypes, discrimination, shallow knowledge of Islam, and breaking barriers while conforming with the teachings of Islam. It is usually a convergence of female Muslim youths who are professionals, thought leaders, entrepreneurs, undergraduates, and graduates with the opportunity to network, learn, relearn, and unlearn, improve leadership and self-development skills, as well as spiritual inclination. This year is themed Beyond the Veil, to awaken our Muslims on the need to be spiritually, mentally, and physically healthy, to work hard on being a better version of themselves despite all odds, and to raise a generation of conscious Muslims.
We say Beyond the Veil. It simply means there's actually so much more than male dressing. The hijab is beautiful, and it's indeed a commandment from Allah. Congratulations to everyone who is adoring it, and hear a message of encouragement to those still struggling. The hijab is not a limitation to a Muslimah, but rather a shield and a blessing. But wait, when appreciating your cover, it's important to strive to be intellectually exceptional. I am Mubarak Tade. Dare you to acquire knowledge. I dare you to be brave and pursue your dreams.
This hijab is a representation of something positive. It is a representation of virtuousness, and it is those virtues that the hijab was designed to represent that we have come here today to remind ourselves of. And so if you, regardless of what the labels are, whether they are true or they are made up, many of them are actually not true, we must begin to, as Muslim women, begin to take back the narrative and redefine what the hijab represents by our actions and the purposeful way we go about living our lives. And at the core of it is actually going back to the Quran and the Sunnah. And the Quran is explicit about how to be excellent in all that we do.
Wearing hijab to some people is just a cloth. It's just a custom. It's just fashion. Because they see sisters so wearing it, they just want to wear it as well and look good in it. But what is inside them is, it goes beyond that veil. It's nothing even related to that hijab. And that's why they've created this kind of program to encourage our sisters. Aside you wearing hijab, who else are you? If you should remove this hijab, who exactly can anybody in your neighborhood, in your family, in your place of work, what can they call you? Can they call you a Muslimah? Can they call you a Muslim sister? Can they call you a righteous woman or a virtuous woman?
We'll take a break to bring you stories from the foreign scene after this break.
Our boss was like, a decent fashion designer only gets home at midnight.
Midway.
Man like Osime, Papa just a chop Italian league like Oha.
These are real housewives of Abuja. Those women are fire. What does OJ say again? My relationship with money is Alhamdulillah.
No one tells a story like we do. Showmax, Africa's original streaming service.
Welcome back. The new military rulers in Niger Republic has ordered the armed forces to go on maximum alert, citing an increased threat of attack. The main West African bloc, ECOWAS, has been trying to negotiate with the leaders of the July 26 coup but has said it's ready to deploy troops to restore constitutional order if diplomatic efforts fail. An internal document issued by its defense chief, which was shared widely online on Saturday, said the order to be on the highest state of readiness would allow forces to respond adequately in case of any attack and avoid a general surprise. ECOWAS downplayed this threat and said on Friday it's determined to bend backwards to accommodate diplomatic efforts, although a military intervention remained one of the options on the table. Electorates in Gabon on Saturday cast their votes for presidential, legislative and local elections that the opposition hopes will foil President Ali Bongo's bid for a third term and end his family's 56-year grip on power. Polling stations opened across the Central African country at 8 a.m. with 19 candidates on the presidential ballot, although 6 of the main opposition parties have backed a joint nominee to narrow the race to unseat Bongo. The vote is a much-anticipated test of support for President Bongo, who has served 2 7-year terms, but detractors say he has done too little to funnel Gabon's oil wealth towards the third of its 2.3 million population living in poverty and question his fitness to govern after a stroke in 2018. A commander of the Ukrainian army fighting in the south believes that his country's forces have broken through the most difficult line of Russian defenses in the south and will now be able to advance more quickly. Ukraine launched a counteroffensive in June, but well-prepared Russian defense lines, reinforced by minefields, have slowed their southward advance towards the Sea of Azov. Ukrainian forces said on Wednesday they had raised the national flag in the settlement of Robotine in the southern Zaporizhia region, about 10 kilometers south of the frontline town of Orikhiv. Russia has, however, not confirmed that Ukraine has advanced into Robotine. In the meantime, Russian President Vladimir Putin has called on all employees of Wagner and other Russian private military contractors to take an oath of allegiance to the Russian state. The decree applies to anyone participating in military activities in Ukraine, assisting the army and serving in territorial defense units. Coming 2 days after Wagner leaders were presumed killed in a plane crash, Putin signed the decree with immediate effect. In a separate development on Saturday, a far-right subunit of Wagner known as Rusich said it was stopping military operations in Ukraine. It's time for sport news after this break.
Our boss was like, a decent fashion designer only gets home at midnight.
Midway.
Man like Osime. Papa just a chop Italian league like
These are real housewives of Abuja. Those women are fire. What does OJ say again? My relationship with money is Alhamdulillah.
No one tells a story like we do. Showmax, Africa's original streaming service.
Welcome back. FIFA has provisionally suspended under-fire Spanish FA President Luis Rubiales from all football-related activities for 90 days, pending the disciplinary proceedings opened against him following his conduct at the Women's World Cup final in Sydney last weekend. Rubiales has refused to resign from his post after kissing Jenny Hermoso, who has stressed she did not consent on the lips, prompting FIFA to step in. A FIFA statement said the chairman of the FIFA Disciplinary Committee, Judge Ivan Palacio, in use of the powers granted by Article 5.1 of the FIFA Disciplinary Code, has decided to provisionally suspend Mr. Luis Rubiales at national and international level. Meanwhile, Spain's Soccer Federation said on Saturday it will take legal action to defend its president, Luis Rubiales, on Saturday, even as he faces a storm of criticism for grabbing star player Jenny Hermoso's head and kissing her on the lips after Spain's Women's World Cup victory. In a statement issued in the early hours, of the Federation said it was sure there have been lies about what happened by Hermoso or people speaking for her. The statement on the Royal Spanish Football Federation website said it would take legal action to defend Rubiales' honor, but did not say what the action would consist of. Rubiales refused on Friday to resign as RFEF chief over his actions last Sunday in Sydney. Manchester United came from 2 goals down inside 4 minutes to win 3-2 against 10-player Nottingham Forest at Old Trafford in an English Premier League. Goals from Taiwo Awoniyi and Willy Bolly had stunned United and given Steve Cooper's side an excellent opportunity to claim their first away win in the Premier League since January. But Christian Eriksen pulled one back and those hopes disappeared in the second half. Casemiro leveled, and when Joe Worrell was sent off for a foul on Bruno Fernandes, the momentum proved irresistible. The United captain scored the winner from the penalty spot after Marcus Rashford was fouled by Danilo. And that brings us to the end of the primetime news. But before we leave, we'll take a recap of the top stories. We told you that the federal government has restated commitment to stop pipeline vandals, and also that the NCDC is monitoring the new COVID subvariants and is to start testing in 4 states. From the foreign scene, the Niger junta ordered maximum military alert over ECOWAS attack fears. And in sport, we told you that FIFA has suspended the Spanish FA boss over kissing of female footballer on the lips. Thanks for watching. I am Jumoke Michaels. Good night.